Hello, my friends. Happy Tuesday. Hope you are all doing well. You know the routine. I just want to make sure that my screen pops up on the other side so I can read your amazing comments. 1 second and we will get started. And I do see my screen and I'm in frame. We are good. We're in the right place. That's always a fear of mine, being in the wrong place on the wrong time. Happy Tuesday, my friends. Today is Tuesday, June 3rd at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you are watching me here live on Facebook, if you are watching a replay, come in and say hello and let me know that you're watching. Happy June, my friends. Can you believe it's already halfway through the year? We are officially halfway through the year. It's crazy. So hope you are all doing well. We are on another episode of Teach It Tuesday with Tammy and Jennie. For those of you that happen to be new to my page, welcome. My name is Tammy Sabello and welcome to Cards by TLC. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator out of the San Francisco Bay Area. And welcome to our Teach It Tuesday with Tammy and Jennie. Both Jennie and I absolutely love a good sketch. And we thought it would be fun to dive into the Mojo Monday sketches. Jennie's been doing this for a while now, and I love a good sketch. I know when I'm in a creative pause, there's nothing better than a great sketch. So Jennie and I thought it would be fun to make that in our monthly rotation. I'm so excited to be here today, so let's go ahead and get started on our sketch. I found this sketch, it's sketch number 520 on Pinterest. Pinterest has an amazing board of the Mojo Monday sketches, so I'm going to put mine in a binder and kind of go through Pinterest and print out more of my favorite sketches. I would love to know in the chat or in the replay, if you happen to be watching, if you've tried a Mojo sketch or if you have no clue what I'm talking about. This Mojo Monday came up with a amazing sketches to get you out of that creativity funk. So I'm gonna take my stab at sketches and what is my favorite. In fact, I'm going to be diving in and creating a playlist on my YouTube channel. I know I've been thinking about this for a while now, so I think I'm going to be calling it Template Thursday with Tammy. So I thought that would be a kind of a fun little playlist, and I want to be more consistent with my content, and I thought this would be perfect to dive into more content and add them to my weekly lives. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Like I said, Jennie and I chose sketch number 520 for our layouts. I absolutely love this layout, and I decided that I would pair it with gallery blooms as well as sentiments from the mixed labels. I'm using I'm So Glad We're Friends as my sentiment today. But let's look at the project. So cute. I absolutely love this. I paired it with the 2025 to 2027 in color designer paper. I have every year Stampin' Up! Changes their designs on their designer paper, but I have absolutely fallen in love with every single design this time. So we have like water brush, some splotchy paint, and then on the other side, we have flowers and leaves. So I have fallen in love with the design that they have chosen. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, I did my sample in Secret Sea as well as coloring it in with my cloud cover. But I'm going to do a different color. I think maybe I am going to, let's see here. I have Timid Tiger or Darling Duckling or Strawberry Slush. Strawberry Slush is one of my secondary favorite colors, but I think I'm going to kind of dive into the Timid Tiger this time. I think that would be really, really pretty with the flowers from the Gallery Blooms. So let's go ahead and get started. What I love about the sketches is it gives me the exact measurements of how I'm going to be doing this layout. So these will have the sizes and dimensions on my blog post. This exact page will be on my blog post tomorrow. So we're going to go ahead and pretty much follow the layout that I have decided. The only thing I didn't do on this layout was this 1/2 inch by 3 inches banner that went across. I thought it didn't tie into my design, but I also added a back layer. So I added a 4 by 5 1/4 layer, and that is what we are going to be doing here. And as you're coming in, say hello. I would love to see you. See who's in the chat. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, I'm going to do a different color. We'll focus on Timid Tiger today. And we'll be doing our cutting of our designer paper. And I'm going to kind of leave this in frame so we know all of our sizes and dimensions. I have our back base, which is our 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but this one is actually going to be 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, so it will be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 folded. And then our other layer right here is going to be what we stamp our focal point in, and that is going to be 2 1/2 by 3 1/2. And then I stamped a 2-inch circle, but I noticed the stitching around the edge, so I pulled out my stylish shape dies and did my 2-inch circle there. And then we'll be cutting this back panel piece at 3 by 4 1/2. So let's go ahead and get started and do our cutting first and foremost. I liked the wash as my back panel piece. So this piece is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. So I added a layer, but that is fine. You can save this for another insert piece. And I'm also going to go ahead and cut a 1/2 inch by 5 1/2 for the inside, because I want to add a strip to the inside. And then our 3 by 4 1/2 will be our back point. So 3 by 4 1/2. And then I also have this little piece right here. It's a 1 by 1 inch strip that I'm gonna flag off. So I'm gonna do a 1 by 1 square, and then we'll flag that off. And that is all the cutting that we need to do. So again, going over the sizes and dimensions, I have my 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 panel piece. I added an additional 4 by 5 1/4 layer. Let me bring this down into frame. 4 by 5 1/4 layer. And then this piece right here is 3 by 4 1/2. And I just had you. Did I not cut you? I thought I did. I thought I literally just cut it. There it is. Our 3 by 4 1/2. And then our focal point, our stamping point, is 2 1/2 by 3 1/2. And then we have our 2-inch shape, which is from the Stylish Shapes dies. It's the third from the largest. We have our 1-inch square piece, and then I added a 1/2 inch by 5 1/2 inch layer. So let's go ahead and get started. Lay this down. I think we'll just go ahead and do our insert piece right here. And that strip is going to go right here on the far right edge. There we go. And there's our little strip for the inside. And then our front piece is going to lay down right there on the front. I thought about doing the same color, but I thought, you know, let's get another sample out there. So I think what I'm going to start doing is changing the colors up if I can from my samples. That way I have two samples to show you. So there is our back piece, and then we're going to lay our splotchy piece right there. And I kind of thought about turning it, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the sketch, and they have it straightforward. Okay. I am so excited to start this new series. So we will kick off the series, and I'm gonna probably just do a pre-recorded video and upload it to my playlist on YouTube. So if you're not following me at cardsbytlc on YouTube, I would love to have you do that and subscribe and hit the notification bell to all. So if I have any uploaded videos or anytime I go live, you'll get notified. So I have my largest flower, and we are just going to add some Memento ink there because we're going to do some blending and coloring with our blends. And then I'm gonna, I think I went this way. Yeah. I kind of went as far as I could with the rose. And it does get cut off at the very tip, but that's fine. There we go. Look how pretty that is. And then I am going to do I'm So Glad We're Friends. Again, this sentiment is from Mixed Labels. So we're going to stamp that in Timid Tiger. Here we go. Perfect. And then I have my Timid Tiger blends right here. And then I think I'm going to come in with my light peach pie and do my full coloring. But I'm going to start off with the leaves. I always like to do the leaves first. And my combo for leaves I absolutely love is Granny Apple Green and Old Olive. So I always like to color the leaves first because visually that helps my eye know to show where the flower is kind of ending. And I personally think that this is like a really good color combo for leaves. I'll do this side. But Lemon Lime Twist is always really good if you want your leaf to be a little bit lighter. And then of course we have Shaded Spruce. You always do your flowers first. Oh my God, that's so funny. It's crazy, Patricia, just to see the difference in how people do their coloring. It's so funny. I used to be like that, but for whatever reason I switched and it became easier for me. Okay, and then we're gonna come in to do our veining. In Old Olive. Go. Just kind of come in here. So for the flower, I like to leave the edge white and not go full, like to the full thing, just to kind of give it a different shading look. You can certainly do whatever you would like. That was a tip that I had learned from Patty Bennett, and she, in my eyes, is an amazing colorer on here. And she always has amazing tips with the ink blends, and that's one of the tips that I had learned from her. So I'm just gonna kind of go like that. Again, I'm using light peach pie, and then I'm gonna come in with my Timid Tiger. I always like to do my lightest color first and then go to my darkest, because you can always add color, but you can never take away color. Okay. It does, Patricia said it does feel naked when the flower is done, but the leaves are not. I know. It's crazy. But everybody has their own way of coloring. So I'm going to come in next with my dark Timid Tiger and just kind of come in at the bottom. And just adding a little bit at the bottom here, and then I'm going to come in with my light Timid Tiger. Just kind of fade up. I really like the way that turned out. So pretty. I think I might add just a little bit more light of the peach. Very little. There we go. And there is our flower. Okay, now we're going to come in at our angle with this layer right here. So that is our angle piece, right? Like so. I think I might have to do one of every color in color on this. I really love this. And I like having different options with this layout. Okay, now I'm going to take my 1-inch square and I'm just going to banner cut that right up the middle. And then from one corner there, turn it. And there is our cute little banner that's going to go right like so. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the only layer I'm not doing is the banner that goes straight across, only because I didn't want to cover up my flower. So I'm going to do the banner piece. I think I need to change my cutting blade and my trimmer. It's leaving little hairs. And then my 2-inch circle with my sentiments. There we go. And then I'm going to finish off with the flat pearls. I absolutely love the flatness of our in color pearls this time. It really it's really easy to send things in the mail and you don't have that extra postage. So where I have the little dots is where I'm going to put my embellishments. And there we have our Mojo Monday sketch number 520. So this is going in my binder. I'm going to go on Pinterest and look for more layouts that I fell in love with and create my own binder. And I would love to know if you guys are going to do the same thing. Also, like I said, I'm going to be on Thursdays, I'm going to be starting a template Thursday with Tammy. So you'll find a lot of the Mojo templates in that series. So I hope you subscribe to my channel if you have not yet done so. But this is our project for today. That will do it for me today, my friends. Now be sure to join Jenny at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at Stampin with Jen. That's 2 N's in Stampin and 2 N's in Jen for her take on this sketch layout. And thank you for joining me today. And I will see you all next time for more creative fun. Have a very great day. Bye, friends. Bye.